Good morning, everyone from Cape Town, South Africa. We've got our bulletproof coffee here and are ready for our conversation with you. And we're so excited about today and so excited to get to know you in person through the screen and just say hello in person to you and yeah, just have this whole time together with you. For those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Kirsten.
And you might be part of our WhatsApp group. So in there, you would have already been in touch with us and done fun challenges together with us, maybe watched one or another video or downloaded some of our awesome guides already. But we really want to use the opportunity today to say properly hello and just take you into our world with us, take you into our special way of seeing health and living a healthy lifestyle. So you might be watching this on live and might be sitting here with us right now in front of the screen, or you're watching the recording. But we definitely know already that we've got a bunch of different countries in here because in our global health hacker group on WhatsApp as well, we've got so many different countries there from different continents. So we definitely know already there's South Africa in here, there's Switzerland in here, there's Spain in here, there's Germany. So it's a beautiful big community of all of us coming together for this special conversation. So today is all about giving you the focus, and it's all for you and for you to really have the chance to choose yourself. And you're probably here because you're done with being confused or mentally burned out, or even just being stuck in a wellness loop of not really knowing what kind of decisions to make and what kind of next step to take. So you are just wanting to focus on your life. You want to be healthy in your life. You want to be healthy for your own children later, and you want to be around when your grandchildren are on this planet. So we just want to look into this whole wholesome idea of making health smart and not hard and really making it your lifestyle. So this webinar is here to help you to take a breath, essentially, and let go of all the overwhelm. Just let go of the confusion and give yourself the permission to listen to what your body and mind truly need. And we can already promise you that you'll leave this conversation here today feeling empowered, feeling content, and feeling reassured that you know what to do next and what to expect, and just have this confidence to move forward from here.
So yeah, not only are we going to give you a whole lot of information and make you feel like you are gaining control of your health all over again, we will be sharing something very special at the end. So please stick around until the very end. We're going to drop a few bonuses and also have a little gift, a little bit of a surprise for you at the very end. So if you are watching, stick around and yeah, stay tuned for the very end.
So with that being said, shall we dive into our conversation today? Let's dive right in. Okay, so welcome to our conversation today, making health smart and not hard, and how to actually gain clarity and ease in a world that is full of quick fixes and empty promises. Because the one thing that we all don't want, we don't want to waste our precious time and energy on something that doesn't work for us. And with whichever conversation we're having with our students or with just like anyone that we're meeting in our lives, it's always the same repetition. It's always the same thing. There's like a spiral that just keeps going. There's a nagging feeling in your stomach that doesn't go away. And you're just frustrated in the process because you're giving it your all, you're wanting to do better, but you just don't get the results that you want. So for us, it's always super important to just really break complexity down, really focus on how can you make this all easy and make it enjoyable and really just live a life that's fulfilling and make healthy practices your lifestyle, essentially, where it doesn't feel like a to-do list and it just becomes like something easy and fun to actually do on an everyday basis. So let's jump in and dive a bit deeper into that conversation now. So you're probably here because you are just done with chasing the next quick fix and you want clarity and that confusion that's out there. In the beginning, when all these health trends were starting, it was a bit easier to actually tell them apart. But by now you would have seen there's so many products in the stores. There's so much health advice out there online. There's so many conflicting advices and knowledge that you're reading through. And in all of that, you're just losing your way because what must you actually follow now? And that's literally been our journey as well of not really knowing which path to go down now. And it's taken us years and years and years to realize this is what we want to listen to. This is what feels like it's the right advice and not getting lost in that confusion and just reading the next book and watching the next video. And after that, actually not feeling relief, but just feeling confused. So we really want to pass on advice to you that really works for you and where you can feel reassured and you can feel like this is something I can follow. And this is something that actually has me excited to be healthy and to do something for my health.
So whoever here feels like they've tried everything, but nothing really sticks. You feel overwhelmed by all the health advice out there. Maybe you've Googled all the health tips and nothing's really sticking and you still feel confused. Or you've religiously followed the next health routine, but still not feeling better. Or maybe you are done with this endless trying, but not seeing the results. So if this is you and you want to feel better, clearer, and more alive, and you're really not ready to start, then I think we have something for you.
But of course, this is exciting and this is a really, really exciting thing to look forward to. But we also want to acknowledge that it's not that easy. We live this lifestyle, and for us, it's become something that's automated. But of course, we live in a world that's giving you so much resistance and puts so many obstacles in your way. So we really want to stress the point, with whatever you've tried, you are not the problem, the system is. Because what we really want to focus on is we need to have an intention in our life. And our intention is to give you a roadmap that really is tailored down to your needs and something that helps you feel like, oh, wow, that actually makes sense. I can do this. And someone finally understands me, and not feeling like you're alone out there and no one's really listening to you, but sitting there with your personal situation and feeling like you have the capacity and the understanding to know what to do next. And you just feel reassured and you feel empathetically listened to and have this feeling of someone supporting me, and I know how to move further from here. So what you'll gain in this session today is three very, very important things. So what you'll gain in the session today is three very important things. On one hand, clarity, balance, and direction. So with clarity, we've been stressing that already. We mean we want to break through the noise and the confusion. We want to break through all that chatter out there and actually give you the opportunity to really feel centered. And from that centered core, be able to reflect and then make the best decision for you. We also want to create balance because we are also out of balance and also dysregulated. So we're really placing a huge focus on balancing our mind and body and doing that religiously every single day. And we want to give you direction. So I've been stressing that already. We want you to see health as a lifestyle and not a to-do list, because we've got so many to-do lists in our lives. Who wants to have another to-do list? We want to see this as something easy. We want to have an association that's positive. And with that, we want to create that ease that just brings all these beautiful, healthy practices into our lives so organically. So essentially, let's bring that down to three important points. On the one hand, we really want to understand together with you the number one reason why your wellness routines haven't been working. Because as I said just now, it's not your fault. The system is the problem. The tools are the problem. The confusion is the problem. And Kirsten and I have spent the last probably 10 years of our life, right, to break down that complexity and to really, through self-experimentation and self-study, start to understand what is the filter that we want to view information through, and how can that filter help us to, from there, actually read something, assess it, give it a judgment, and then decide, is that something you want to implement into your life, or is it something you rather want to not focus on, and also understand why that is.
So for everyone, I'm sure their time and their energy is extremely important to them. So putting that into practices that actually are worth it and that actually work for you is obviously a very, very important thing to do. We have to be very selective and careful with what we choose to put our time and effort into. So often we are putting time and energy into things that don't work or are quick fixes or are not for you specifically. So we really want to help you decide on what practices are the ones for you specifically, and also for that stage in your life. And we'll touch on that in the webinar to come, but understanding what practices your body needs and making sure that they're worth it for you.
And to stress that point, finally, again, we've spoken about it just now, we really want to know how to feel at ease about our health instead of feeling pressured and having these restrictions. Because let's be honest, it's boring, it's not fun if you're following these crazy routines and once again, this new framework and a new diet that doesn't feel like it's actually a beautiful, positive addition to your life. You've got this end goal that you really want to reach, but the actual path there is not enjoyable. So we rather want to focus on the path and then get the end result as a side effect, which actually becomes something very easy and that way becomes fun.
So something that's really important to the both of us is a personal connection. So we have a very strong personal connection, but we really want to create that connection with everyone listening in and everyone who chooses to join us on this journey. So we want to share a little bit about us and get to know you a little bit better and get you guys to know us a little bit better, but maybe just a little bit of a background on how we met. So actually went to a neurohacking talk that Lisa was hosting in Cape Town, and I just found it super, super fascinating. And I also thought she was an amazing person and I had to know this person. So afterwards, I reached out to her on LinkedIn, and long story short, we ended up connecting for a bulletproof coffee somewhere in Cape Town, and the rest is history. So it was a really lovely story. We kind of connected over health, and it really opened my mind to the whole neurohacking, the mind side of things, and where I was so fixated on my passion, which is the body and the biology side of things. That brings me to sharing a little bit about us and our unique combination and synergy that we have together. So Lisa being the more neurohacking mindset side of things, and me being more of the biology, biochemistry, and like physical side of things, but they have a beautiful synergy together. So maybe you can tell us a little bit more about your story or your side of the equation.
No, absolutely. Adding on to that, I mean, when Kirsten reached out like that and us meeting over the Bulletproof coffee, first we just had a friendship develop from there, which was so beautiful. But from the first meeting already, I knew at some point we need to do something together. So I was like deeply into my neural side of my business and doing my therapy work, but already reading like all the biohacking books and diving into that exciting world. And then Kirsten came along, and first we didn't quite know what that would lead to yet. But by now, and this is why you're sitting here with us, but with time, both of us just completely organically had this feeling of we must merge our both worlds. And we're just learning from each other during that time of getting to know each other as friends. And something that I so deeply appreciate about Kirsten is that I've always been in this neural side and into the brain side of things, but understanding even more how that manifests in your cells. And with Kirsten's background, her academic background, but also her business background, just like having so many insights into supplementation and nutrition and proper exercise practices and how they can be your best ally, right? And in the right times, but how they can also be your worst enemy if you just do them too much, too intensely at the wrong time. And that is something that's so deeply connected to your mental state as well. So all of that is just a world that needed to merge, which is by now something that we practice and share as our passion. And all of this sounds so positive and exciting, but we want to be very honest with you. Like both of us, we've gone through so many different journeys throughout our lives. Maybe you want to start with your journey first, how the whole health understanding actually came together throughout your life.
Yeah, so for me, I grew up as an athlete. I was always competing, training, and everything I did was geared towards that. And I was kind of taught by people around me, coaches, everything, that I had to put 100% into everything. And my body was my weapon, my tool to perform. And recovery and rest and those sorts of things were not really in my vocabulary at all. So around this time when I was also competing as an athlete, I also became very interested and intrigued about health in general. I started studying health, physiology, biochemistry, exercise science. And with that, I went to talks, I went to events, I traveled the world and kind of just immersed myself into this health and wellness scene. And I got into things like biohacking and ketogenic diets, fasting, all the crazy things that we will talk a lot about. And I ended up putting the same effort that I did into my training and my exercise into my health as well. And of course, being young and being resilient and being able to take on a lot of things, I was fine for many, many years until one day I couldn't go anymore. So after that, I started to get a few symptoms like fatigue, some injuries, hormonal imbalances, did various different health tests, and just realizing my body was a little bit out of balance and a little bit out of whack. And I started to feel that and see the signs of imbalance. And for me, it was mostly around hormonal imbalances, but I won't go into too much detail. But the point is, I kind of was driving my body to its end. So I was really optimizing on a body that wasn't ready to be optimized. I didn't have the foundations in place. And there's a few things that I learned along the way, and that was really that what's healthy for one person is not healthy for another person. I was trying to do all the healthy things, but that wasn't necessarily what I needed at that time. And also realized that what was healthy for me at one point in my life was not healthy for me at another point, and that can differ from day to day, also from week to week, and from year to year. So things always change in your life, and that's a really important learning that I hope to convey to everyone listening in as well. Another learning that I had was more is not better. Sometimes, especially for us A-type personalities, we think doing more, going harder is always going to fix the problem and solve it. But at the end of the day, sometimes dialing back and taking maybe a few steps back to take many steps forward is the answer. So the bottom line is we're all on our unique health journey, and it really comes down to being your own little scientist and treating your body as a bit of an experiment and finding out what works for you and just tweaking it along the way. So that's a bit of my story, and hopefully that gets you to know a little bit more about me. But Lisa, maybe you want to share a little bit about your story and yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like your story very much started with the physical side of things, right? So biohacking meets neurohacking, exactly the examples here, because mine started more from the neural side and more from the mental side. One of the biggest things throughout my life being, which is something I only realized after that happened, was like a very, very long relationship of emotional abuse and narcissistic abuse and manipulation. And back when I was in that situation, I didn't even know what those terms were. I hadn't pursued my academic route yet as a therapist and as a psychologist, and I hadn't really learned about any of these concepts. But when I finally did, years later, I had this aha moment of sitting there thinking, oh, wow, this actually sounds like exactly what happened to you. And I was finding so many answers to situations of self-doubt and just really doubting my sanity in those moments. For any one of you who has been in an emotionally manipulative situation, like it literally comes down to you're doubting your own sanity. You're not believing your own thoughts anymore. Someone can really completely shatter everything inside of you. So learning about those concepts was such a relief of actually being able to untangle them and understand what it means down to the core. So in that, actually gaining knowledge and awareness, and from there already understanding, oh wow, when you actually understand this, you can navigate it. So that was around the time when I was doing my academic training and my certifications and really on this path of becoming a therapist. So that sparked even more motivation now that I was understanding my own situation. But still, though, having been in such a situation of emotional manipulation, I was still carrying around symptoms with me. And this is where the physical side comes in. Because moving on from there for years and years and years, I had such issues with just like female stuff, UTIs and all of that. And it was such a negative time of my life because it felt like a spiral that really wasn't going to leave me alone ever. Which is one of my biggest learnings, actually two learnings there, because the one learning being if something in your stomach, like if your nagging feeling is there that's telling you something is wrong, then it very likely is. Like your intuition that's telling you something is not right here, let it be in connection with a person or with a situation that you're in, then listen to it. Like something is very, very likely not right. And then also looking into just like experiencing physical symptoms. If there is a spiral where you are experiencing something and you're thinking, I can never escape that spiral, it's very likely due to disbalance and your body needing realignment, needing a mental relief. And that was my secret in that moment. I needed a mental relief. Like with those symptoms of UTIs, I tried all the medical things. I tried all the different things and nothing ever worked. And it was only down to me actually getting to a point where I could find mental relief that I was finally free from it. And that was just such a relief overall to just get back to happiness and get back to my own balance.
So as you can see, Lisa and I thought we were doing all the right things. We had really, really good intentions, but just not executing appropriately, I guess. So we're all the same. You and I, we are similar on the same journey and just trying to figure things out. For example, we were drinking all the green, healthy smoothies. We were following all the latest healthy diets and all the trends out there. We did cardio and at-home workouts, all the latest exercise techniques. We stayed super committed, even when we felt tired and our body was telling us we had that feeling that we should rest when we didn't. And we said yes to all the things when we knew we should have said no at some point. So all of this for what? Our bodies ended up showing us signs that it wasn't leading us into the right place.
So as you can imagine, all of this did not lead to health. All of this did not produce health for us, as we already shared with you now with our personal stories. It actually led to dysregulation. And that is a massive, massive problem. So something that we also needed to learn was just we did not need the next diet or workout plan. Nothing isolated like that. We needed a wholesome balance that was working for us, with practices that were working for us, and with a body and mind that were in alignment. And once we realized that, that was only the point when we stopped actually fixing symptoms. We started reworking systems, which is so much more important. And we began reprogramming our mindset and our minds, and essentially actually our brains, because we can rewire our brains to something so exciting. And this is the point when we finally started to thrive and actually had this relief and so much more joy unlocked that you can actually never imagine before you get to that point. And since we both experienced that excitement now, that's like just our passion to share that with you. And our biggest mission really is, with all the passion that we're sharing here, we want to make health feel more manageable for you. We want to make it achievable and free from any guilt and pressure, because that's the only way how it's working for us. Whenever there's like this very negative resisting feeling inside of you, it's just no fun. So there's a lot of association techniques as well, how you can work with that and how you can actually just make yourself understand that it is something positive and something enjoyable. And that way you're automatically driven towards it. So that's kind of like the little hacky mindset and lifestyle that we are living on an everyday basis. And we would absolutely love to take you on this journey together with us. Because essentially, what is life actually if it doesn't feel like home? Because you are here with yourself. You are like, you've got your friends, you've got your family. But essentially, what it comes down to, whatever situation you're dealing with and going through life, it's always you. So you want to feel at home in your body and build a body and life that truly, truly feels like home. That's our biggest mission here. But once again, we want to acknowledge the bit more negative side, a bit more resisting side, because it's actually the problem that your doctor doesn't want you to be healthy. What do we mean with that? We mean with that we live in a world where there's not necessarily a focus on the system fixing, because the actual systems that are out there, they focus on quick relief and not really the deep repair, which is what we rather want. So we want to shift from fighting symptoms to actually really understanding your system. So with that, it's always a comparison between a symptom-based approach and a system-focused approach. What do we mean with that? Let's quickly run through the points together.
Yeah, so the reason we're highlighting this is because when we go to the doctor, we get a symptom-based reaction from them. And we have a sore throat, we have gut issues, we have something wrong with us, and they fix one thing one at a time. They isolate the problem and they put a plaster on that and relieve the symptoms, and you go on about your day. And that's not really fixing the root problem. So it's quick fixes and not solving the bigger issue that might be underlying this.
Whereas if you're actually focusing on your system and system improvement, then you're really digging into understanding the root cause of the problem. You're really working holistically and with a wholesome approach, and you are able to restore flow and balance in a way that it actually works sustainably for a long-term approach. So you're fixing something at the deep core, and because you're fixing that, you're building a foundation that's going to carry you on a health journey for a long, long time to come. So just to drop two keywords here, which are really important as we're moving forward, is that we're always comparing conventional medicine to functional medicine. Functional medicine meaning you're really looking at the whole system and you're wholesomely supporting your system.
So in our current health system, it's really not our fault that we are a little bit stuck in the conventional medicine way of thinking, and it might be difficult for us to start thinking in this more functional systems-based approach. But there's definitely a shift happening. There's a shift from being very reactive and symptom-based to being very proactive. And it's really, really exciting to be at the forefront of that. And we're hopefully going to help you shift your mindset into being more functional and more systems-based in your approach to health. So you're not just lazy and undisciplined, it's just the way we've been brought up, the way we've been taught, and the way things are in this current world. So you may have just been working with the wrong tools, and we're here to kind of give you the right tools. So we've been taught all along to be very, very reactive and not proactive. And most health advice is designed to be very temporary and doesn't teach us how to fully understand our bodies. And that's the only way that we can really achieve true health for the individual, if we really understand our bodies. So it doesn't give us the full picture.
And let's say you try a new diet, you try more supplements, you try stricter routines, but here you are still not feeling great and still not feeling better. And this actually directly goes together with the reason why most wellness advice just doesn't work, because it focuses on symptoms and not systems, as we just stressed over and over again. It actually promotes guilt and perfection or trends, and that's just an exhausting spiral to be in. And it leaves you feeling more confused than before with so much health advice circulating around out there. And in a lot of the cases, it just focuses on one thing solely and isolates that symptom and that problem without actually wholesomely fixing it. So true health actually isn't about doing more. It's not about filling your calendar with more crazy, ambitious health practices, but it's about making health smarter, essentially. And it's about making smarter daily choices for yourself and choosing yourself at the center of it all. So to really, really stress that point again, true health is actually about balancing inner rhythms, balancing about your biology, your psychology, your story, your lived experiences. Like they all come together and they produce an outcome and an end result, which oftentimes manifests in symptoms. So that is what you're realizing. That's like all the way over here what you're realizing. And then just by fixing that symptom, of course, you would have not fixed what happened before that to create the symptom. So that's like always important for us to really, really look into that, because it's about understanding the interconnectedness of it all. So the essence of a healthy lifestyle as we like to live it and as we like to focus on it is realignment instead of restriction. It's all about agency instead of guilt. And it's all about flow instead of force, because otherwise you're just going to put yourself into this very, very tense state, and nothing positive can ever be born from a tense state. That's something super important for us to always live by and to pass on to you. So this is actually your health wake-up call you've been longing for the longest time of asking yourself over and over the same question, the longest time of feeling lost, longest time of feeling like people are not truly listening to you, not really taking you seriously with all the symptoms or problems that you're having or even thoughts that you're having. So this is our wake-up call here to really, really see you, to really take you and your thoughts in, take you and your situation in, and work on it together and help you get the clarity and confidence and alignment that you have been craving for such a long time. And that actually brings us to our absolute essence of our life, which is our health hacking lifestyle, because this is how Kirsten and I truly live our life every single day. And we've only realized that throughout the years. We told you in the beginning that this is how we met. I was the neuro side, she was the bio side, and then we merged our both worlds. By now, we've also realized, well, there's also a sense side to it that comes actually together into the blend. And let me just quickly go through the different aspects together, because we realized over time that it is so important for this wholesome approach to really, really consider all aspects equally. So the neurohacking side, looking into the state of your brain, basically, the state of your neurochemicals and neurotransmitters. Because if you have been in a situation of tension, if you have been in a situation of overwhelm, your brain is not going to be in a good foundational state to create happiness and positivity from there. Like we always like to call it create an outcome, create positivity. So what foundation do you have right now to actually create that? Do you have the best factors right now aligned to feel happy, to feel balanced, to feel content? So that is what neurohacking is about emotional resilience and really working with your thoughts and your mind, considering what has been happening to you and how might that have impacted your brain and your thinking. And from there, also looking into the positive side, what can you do intentionally, working with neuro tools, working with neuro associations, and just all the beautiful mind tools that help you claim more agency and really make yourself feel more content.
Yeah, so then comes biohacking, a term that I'm sure many of you have heard before and might have an idea of what it means. But if you aren't aware, biohacking means using science and technology to improve or optimize your biology or your body. And it comes down to using nutrition as a tool, not just as something that we are consuming, but something that's a fuel for our body and for our cells. Also using exercise, not just as a way to burn excess calories, it's just a way to stimulate motion in the body and get energy going and actually make ourselves healthier. There's various different aspects around our biology and our physical body that we need to consider and how we can hack that biology into being more healthy.
And then also sense hacking comes into the blend where it's all about your sensory input. And I've read this quote in a book where the author was saying, well, actually, your entire reality depends on your sensory input, because depending on how dysregulated and disbalanced your body and mind are, you're going to have a very different perception of the world. So on that day X, that perception of the world is going to be your reality. But once you shift those factors again, your reality is going to change. You're going to perceive something more positively again, whereas the other day it was super negative for you. So I find that to be so fascinating that it always comes down to this perception level of what are you hearing, what are you smelling, and how can that also be dysregulated in itself. So we're bringing all of that together. And we haven't really seen that anywhere out there, right? There's like a lot of biohacking courses, a lot of neuro things, a lot of mental coaching aspects and programs, but actually having this whole blend together, and trust me, this has taken us years to figure this out, which we're just passing on to you here just now, is just the absolute secret that we've been searching for years. So you can see we actually look at the full ecosystem here. And as we do, we are able to reframe the problem and unlock the actual solution that you're looking for, and not just these quick fixes, but the actual core solution to your problem. So let's actually give you an example for that. Let's say you're not sleeping well, for example. It's easy to reach for melatonin or a sleep tea, right? But that essentially is just a symptom fix. And when we step back, we often see that poor sleep is connected to late night screen time, for example, connected to emotional processing backlog, and just like thoughts that are floating around in your mind, blood sugar imbalances, overtraining, or even a lack of purpose. So all of that is making your body feel unsafe. And in that unsafe state, once again, you can't produce any positivity. So we want to shift from fixing the sleep to actually supporting the system that creates sleep.
And also, as another example, let's say you're feeling constantly bloated all the time. You often think that this is a food intolerance or something wrong with your gut. Maybe you have IBS, and you often maybe want to get a test and whether there's some foods that you don't tolerate well. But often that's really influenced by your nervous system, by movement, exercise too much or lack of exercise, by your emotions, by your relationships. Many things can influence your nervous system, and there's a really strong connection from your brain to your gut. So also always considering that. So for example, eating in front of the TV and being in that stress state messes up your nervous system regulation and can definitely influence the gut. So that might be something that can make you feel bloated.
I mean, for that case, I literally had therapy clients who were coming to me with emotional eating problems, and following a diet plan would have not helped them at all. Like they needed to really solve that emotional core behind it. That's like the actual fix. So with that, it's very likely that you've had times throughout your life where you just felt very low in motivation or just emotionally flat. And also with that, it's not always about mental health alone. It might be tied to blood sugar crashes, to lack of nutrient density and actual nutritious value, low movement, emotional backlog again, and just emotional disbalance, or just misalignment with your purpose. Like, so you see, it's not just in your head, it's in your whole system. So that's why we always want to look at the system. But that's actually not all, because that's the one dimension. But a second very, very important dimension is what we call the 6 health pillars. And this is once again something that has been in development and has been growing for us as an idea in our minds for the past years. Like I still remember reading the first books when the idea got sparked, okay, like something deeper and something bigger is connected here. And then throughout the years, actually realizing Okay, I think we've got it down now. These are the 6 essential health pillars that you always want to look into that need to be balanced. And if they're not balanced and misaligned, then you can be putting so much effort and time into that one particular area of your life, but it's not going to give you the balance across all of the different health pillars that are important. So that's our core concept that we now live by and that we teach as well and pass on to really look into these 6 health pillars and balance them out. Let's give you an example of what they actually look like. So the first one being health pillar 1, emotions and emotional resilience. So this one is all about your capacity to feel, process, and adapt, to learn to navigate your emotions for nervous system regulation, and to really be able to self-regulate and make yourself feel content. And we spoke about the neurohacking, biohacking, and sense hacking side just now. And with this emotion pillar, you would think, okay, emotions, that's clear, that's just brain and just neuroside. But it's not. And that's like everything that we're passing on. It comes down to your nutrition as well. It comes down to your supplements. It comes down to your entire status of your body, how positive your emotions actually stand a chance to be. And you can be doing all the nice things, but if the foundation is not right, it's going to be very hard to produce these positive and happy emotions.
So the next pillar is nutrition. And this is something that I'm sure many of us have put a lot of effort into, and it can be very nuanced and very, very individual. It's not just about rules, understanding macronutrients, different calorie intakes during a day. It's more about understanding food as a fuel and understanding that it's fueling each and every one of our cells. And it can have a massive impact not only on our physical health, but also an impact on our mental and our mind, psychological side of things. So it's more about what your unique body actually needs to function optimally and how food supports our energy, our clarity, and our mood as well.
And that leads us to health pillar number 3, our sleep quality, which is honestly the most powerful free medicine that we have out there, but a lot of us are not utilizing. And Kirsten and I definitely also had our times where we were definitely neglecting that a lot. Actually, since diving so deep into this topic now and working together and merging our worlds, I personally have focused way more on my sleep quality and hours of sleep again. So essentially, when we sleep well, we repair. Like we need that time for our body, for our cells to repair, for our brain to be content again. So all of that, once again, comes together. If we don't have that foundation, it's going to be hard for you to feel content. It's going to be hard for you to have enough energy to be active. And all of it has a ripple effect again. So with sleep, if we neglect our sleep, everything else just gets harder. So that's once again just to stress, if you're not feeding this particular pillar, then you're going to be working against yourself. It's going to be so hard to actually get positive results.
When it comes to exercise, I'm sure many of us kind of have this aversion or this cringe feeling towards it, as it's often difficult and something that we really don't want to do. Some of us might really love it, and some of us might have a really good relationship, which is amazing. But when it comes to movement, we really need to make this a foundational part of our health. It's one of the free tools out there that we have to influence almost every single part of our bodies. It's completely free, and we should really start to use it in to our advantage. So movement literally creates energy in our cells. Our cells realize that we're moving and have to create more energy to be able to sustain that movement. And that's what creates life in our body. It's literally the spark factor to our life. One of the books we read was called Spark Factor, and it was all about this, how our cells create energy in motion. So it can be gentle, it can be calming, like this picture of us doing some yoga, or it can be very powerful and very intense. And both are very important. And it's really important to understand how to balance those two. But what really matters is the consistency and doing something that you love and that you enjoy, and that's going to be sustainable at the end of the day.
And then oftentimes neglected as well because we think it comes so naturally as relationships and quality of communication. And there's so many skills that come together there. So we can only actually nurture our relationships with other people if we nurture the relationship with ourselves. But also acknowledging the point that who you're around shapes how you feel, think, and how you function. So all of the potential that you can actually possibly embark on and unlock. And we need safe, nourishing connection to feel safe. That's like one of our biological drivers that we literally need down to our genetic level. And we need that support from others. And we need that connection with ourselves, though, as well. And all of that is a foundation then for healthy communication. And there's so many tools how you can actually learn how to bring emotionally fueled conversations down, for example. It also comes down to your perception levels there again and how regulated you yourself are. So it's beautiful, beautiful tools how you can change your whole experience and make yourself feel less overwhelmed and so much more content.
The last pillar we often forget and neglect is our life purpose. So this might feel very deep and something that you probably might not have thought about in your life, but it's something that I started to consider only in the recent years. And it's really, really important to kind of round out this whole health hacking lifestyle approach. So when you have a life that's directionless, you kind of your body knows that and it has no purpose and something to work towards. And purpose doesn't have to be something big and grand and like game changing for the world, but it has to be something that you feel within yourself and something that you feel strongly connected towards. So just to wrap it up, we need to really feed and nourish all 6 of these health pillars. They are super, super important, and they're not isolated systems on their own. They are completely interconnected. So as you can see with these 2 beautiful graphs, so on the left, you can see we have a life that is full of balance. So this is where we have put all of our energy into each of the pillars, and we are not neglecting one to create a balanced and healthy life. And on the right, you can see a bit of an imbalance system. So where we neglect and we forget about certain aspects. And I'm sure we can all relate to this graph, even myself at some points in my life, is where sleep is neglected and we sacrifice sleep, and that might cause sacrifices in our nutrition. We are tired, we don't want to eat well. We also, therefore, slack on our emotions, and we forget about how to control them and regulate them. And so we need to really feed and focus on all 6 of these health pillars. Super, super important not to neglect one of them in sacrifice for the other. So on the left, you can see we have a super healthy, balanced life. We have a little bit of energy going into every single one of these health pillars for super and optimal balance. And on the right, we have an imbalanced life. I'm sure we can all relate to this picture where we maybe neglect our sleep too much, and that has knock-on effects to our nutrition, and then of course to our emotions as well. And that's a ripple effect that we really want to avoid.
So after having had all of this, imagine what's actually possible once all of this becomes your new normal. But before we continue, let's actually take a little breather here, get out of presentation mode because we want to connect with you again on full screen mode. And we want to take a quick moment with you to just take a breath together, realize what we've all just taken in and what beautiful new realizations maybe might have sparked from that. And just really take a moment to reflect a little bit. This is also the moment for you to just grab your pen, maybe grab your notepad and actually jot down some notes and really just take all of this in together with us. So first of all, after having had all of this, you might have a feeling already which pillar you're maybe currently under supporting. And also maybe what's one small action that you can take today to feed that pillar. And just take a little moment or even pause the video and just write that realization down.
So we're just going to run through each of the pillars and ask a question to maybe simulate some thinking. And again, just feel free to pause the video and write something down. These might seem very surface level, but it can be very, very helpful to just put your pen to paper and put down your thoughts. So when it comes to emotions, ask yourself, how regulated do my emotions feel these days? Am I going on an emotional roller coaster, or are they fairly stable? And nutrition, do I eat to nourish my body and to fuel my body and my cells, or do I just eat mindlessly or when I'm stressed? When it comes to sleep, do I invest in my sleep quality and its quantity, and do I prioritize it every night? And movement, do I move with joy or with pressure and something forcing me to do it? Or relationships, do I nurture my relationships and communicate with my special people in my life in a proper and clear way? And lastly, purpose. How meaningful is my life? And have I actually thought about the purpose question? So what is creating or bringing meaning to my life?
And then also just summing all of that up, asking yourself, which of the 6 health pillars is quietly asking for your care right now? Which health pillar really wants you to listen? And just note down right now, what's one gentle, doable shift you could make in that area today or this week? Just really take this moment to jot something down, just one single thing, because that's where it all starts. So you're getting this feeling from us already, hopefully, that this is actually what the health hacking lifestyle in motion means. So you don't need to change absolutely everything. And that's oftentimes the problem with everything else out there, with all the other courses, programs, frameworks that you're supposed to follow. Who's got time to integrate that into their busy lives? So we are always like fully focusing on making it as easy as possible. And if you're part of our WhatsApp community, for example, you know that we have like these little 30-day challenges, which are like literally you take 3 minutes out of your day, but it's going to make you feel so much more consistently better. And it's so much fun, essentially, right? So you just need to listen closely to yourself, and you just need to know how to support yourself consistently and really do these daily check-ins and do daily little love gestures to yourself, basically. And all of that is supposed to feel manageable and easy to integrate into your busy daily life. So you probably feel like a huge connection to everything we've shared already today, because that's literally been our journey as well, just learning it bit by bit and feeling more understood. And if you have a feeling inside your body right now that's saying, yes, I agree with all of this, and yes, I want to know more, then we actually have something coming for you, which we introduced in the beginning, because we've got a special something that we want to share with you. And this is perfect for you if you still feel like your routines still feel random or exhausting, not doable, and let's be honest, essentially just boring, then this is perfect for you. And if you still feel like your energy dips constantly and your sleep might be sucking and managing your diet actually stresses you out instead of giving you empowerment, then all of this is perfect for you. Like, this is exactly where you want to be. And this is exactly what we want to give you. We want to give you agency, independence, confidence. We want to make you feel empowered, and we want to make you feel reassured. So just imagine that in a matter of only a couple of weeks, you could feel relieved, you could feel content, you could feel reassured, you could feel empowered, and you could feel like someone is really listening. And I am confident to make the next steps from here because I truly feel like I'm making informed decisions and choices that really, really work for me, for my particular situation right now. So with further ado, I want to introduce you to our Health Unlimited program. And we're so excited that we're finally able to share this with you because we launched this already last year with a first cohort of selected people to have a run through, to get some feedback. And it's been such a beautiful, beautiful time, right? Like it was such a beautiful time of 8 weeks spent together of shared experiences, of learning all of this knowledge, of learning the health hacking lifestyle, learning about the 6 health pillars, and learning about how to balance and navigate your particular problem perfectly for you. And there's so many stories and lives that are coming together where everyone can benefit from each other. It's also so interesting because you're seeing it on the whole scale. We had people in there who were just starting out with health hacking, biohacking, that never heard anything about the term and just wanted to learn a bit more. But we also had people in there who'd been looking into biohacking practices for years already. And they also found amazing benefit in it to just go further from their foundation and gain more clarity, essentially, because of all the confusion out there. So Health Unlimited is our little baby that we poured our heart and soul into last year of putting it together. It's been a very intense time when we were putting all of that together, putting the presentations together, holding the sessions. Such an intense, beautiful time of getting to know everyone and slowly building a community. And most of you are in our WhatsApp community now. So it's really, really a feeling of aliveness of growing together, which is so beautiful. So Health Unlimited is our little mission and 8 week journey to essentially rebuild your health from the inside out at your own pace, but with expert guidance. So you can be very flexible around it. It's the full expression actually of our health hacking lifestyle that we love and live. So from building your mindset and identity around health, we're moving all the way over to learning how your biology, emotions, and environment actually work together as we introduced it to you. But of course, way more in detail. We're going through all the different health pillars. We're taking a deep dive and you're really becoming an expert at all of them. But most importantly, you're learning informed intuition, as we always like to call it, where you just feel reassured that you've got the foundation to know how to analyze what you're hearing and reading, and then based on that, make the best decision for you. And with that knowledge, you can build your own routines that work perfectly for you. You can decode your systems, and you can essentially build your own personal blueprint that is your perfect path to follow. So this course is really designed to help you become your own guide, right?
Yeah, and I think one of the best parts or the most memorable things for me from our previous course was the relationship and the connection we had with the students and just getting to know so many people from different areas in the world, but also just to allow them the space to open up and share their struggles. And I think that was something really that created a lot of value in our community. Yeah.
And a point that's very, very important to us is this course is not about becoming perfect. Like none of this is about perfection. It's about making things manageable. It's about breaking down the complexity, and it's about becoming deeply you and really healthy in a way that feels like home, where you feel comfortable and where you know that you're doing the best for yourself and for your own life.
Okay, so we've told you about our 8 week signature Health Unlimited course, and now we're going to just dive into what exactly is inside. So we have 8 weeks and we have 6 health pillars. So we bookend those with a bit of an introduction we call the health hacking mindset to get you a bit of insider information into how you can really get the most out of this course and give you a bit of introduction so everyone's on the same page. Then we dive into emotional resilience, nutrition and food hacking, sleep quality, exercise and motion, relationships and communication, and lastly, purpose in life for our last pillar. And then we round off the whole course with module 8, where we dive into your health hacking lifestyle. So we take this from being a general course for everyone that's joining us to being something that's really speaks to you as the individual. So we'll look at your specific situation or your current health situation, and we'll dive into how we can take that and take you from being just in good health to optimal health. So you can really feel confident in your body and know exactly which are the next steps for you. So if there's something inside you that's saying yes to all of this and to this course, then you can scan this QR code and it'll immediately take you to joining us. But what you'll get if you do join is obviously all 8 weeks of recordings, which will have all of the course content in there for you, which you can watch at your own pace. And you can also watch anytime you want. It will always be available there. And then we have 2 additional aspects to each of the modules. And the first one is the neurohacking audios that Lisa so beautifully created for every single course. And this is an audio that you can listen to any time of the day. I personally do mine before bed, and it just gets me into a very parasympathetic, restful state before I get to sleep. And it's designed for each pillar. So it'll speak to you in that particular pillar of your life. So perhaps you're watching the nutrition pillar for week 2 or week 3, and then you can listen to this audio throughout that whole week. So it's a really great, a really complementary aspect to everything. And then thirdly, we have the workbooks. So the workbooks are extensive PDF documents that you are able to download. You can print them. Lisa loves to print everything. She would definitely print them and grab your pen, and you can literally put pen to paper and kind of digest everything you've learned in the course. So a lot of the feedback we got from the previous course is that was a lot of information, and it was really helpful to be able to put that into action with a workbook. Because often we learn all these things, we take notes, and we know we need to implement them, but we forget about them in the next day or in the next week. So it's really nice to have these booklets to take action and really implement these changes into your life.
And maybe just a quick little note, because Kirsten and I have been planning something very cool here. And depending on when you're actually watching this video, we might have implemented it already. Because with the workbooks, of course, it's a bit more manual, which is amazing. And especially if you're doing it handwritten, then it's a very strong connection with your brain that actually makes a better implant even than anything digital. But we know, of course, these days that a lot of you are loving working with AI and working with ChatGPT. So we are right now busy actually training a whole personal assistant inside ChatGPT that will have all the information and will have all the tools of the workbooks in there. So whatever you're going to be looking into, like you want to calculate your calorie intake, for example, or you want to calculate your best exercise routine for the stage of your cycle for the ladies out here, then you can just work with the assistant that we're going to be able to supply you. So that's going to be part of the course as well in the future, or maybe as you're watching this, it's already out there.
I'm personally super excited about that, and I already do that, but it's very humble jumble, and I would love this GPT to help me. So if you're ready to get going and you'd like to join us on this 8-week signature Health Unlimited course, then you can just scan this QR code and it'll take you straight to where you can find out more.
And maybe also important to say the 8 weeks, that's just how we did it when we did it live. Of course, you can take more time and just like take it at your own pace, however long you want to spend on it. That's completely your choice. So let's actually bring some of our students into this conversation here with us, because we had this beautiful, beautiful run through already with that first cohort last year. And this is something that one of our students actually sent to us as a message, where she was saying this was an amazing, great course. And I think this kind of offer doesn't actually even exist on the market yet. And even Mindvalley isn't offering this holistic view in a single course. So it's really something special. And this is what we've been hearing a lot from our alumni. And she was just saying you can be absolutely proud of it. And so this kind of interaction is what makes all of this so beautiful, because of course we're passing on our knowledge, but there's always this human side to it, always this human side of connecting with you, continuously connecting with you. So from the moment you become a part of this, you're part of it forever, basically. And it's such a beautiful interaction that we have with our students. So it's beautiful to be a part of that, right? Just popping a couple of other messages and voices here. Our one beautiful student, she was telling, I must tell you, your course has been so impactful to me, and I plan to implement more and more biohacking into my life this year. And I have also spoken to so many people about your course already. So maybe you're in here because you're that friend, and we're just so excited to have and we're just so excited to continue to have these interactions with you. And just getting a message like that gives so much to us as well, because we really pour our heart into this. And we just want the best for you. We want for everything that we've learned over the past years for you to be accessible, and so much easier and faster to be accessible. So you don't have to sit down, have to read all the books, have to study and self-experiment for 10 years. But we've done that for you. And we're breaking it down into easy bits. And you're just following along and you're enjoying the ride, hopefully.
Yeah, and I think even if you didn't learn anything new from this course, which I have no doubt you will definitely learn something new, if it's just something like this person in the middle, like wanting to implement now more biohacking into their life, just to get you more motivated and have a community to kind of hold you accountable and to do things with, I think that's already something that's extremely very special.
And just quickly to mention maybe as well, because there's a couple of screenshots in here that are German. So I was born in Germany, Kirsten was born in South Africa. We have the course in English right now, but we will translate it to German as well. So if you're on the fence about it because you're not so comfortable with English, then still join right now, because we've got a special offer for you that we're coming through now. So it's going to be a huge advantage for you, because you're getting all future updates as well. So the moment we implement the German version, you're immediately going to have access to that right away and just go through it in German.
Okay, so there's a whole lot of bonuses and a lot of support that you're also getting with this course. So 4 of the things that we already have available for you, and some of you that are on our WhatsApp group will have already seen this. So I hope you found it valuable, but we have a health hacking trends report, for example. This goes through all of the latest health hacking trends, why they're valuable, why they're not, how to kind of navigate them, whether you should take them on board in your health journey or whether you should discard them completely. Super important and valuable. The second one was the health test cheat sheet. This is something I wish I had when I was on my health journey, when I was struggling through all the hormonal imbalances, all these unknown symptoms that I was trying to figure out. It's basically a PDF document that tells you exactly which blood test to take, which you can use to kind of get a basic understanding of your health, and also to dive deeper into certain areas like inflammation, blood sugar control, hormone health. So there's a whole lot of different blood biomarkers and other tests that you can look into in this PDF, such as DNA tests and also wearable devices. A whole lot of information there. Thirdly, there's a fertility test cheat sheet. So if fertility is very important to you in your life right now, then looking into this is going to be extremely helpful. Understanding which biomarkers to look at, so which blood test to get, what other tools and technologies are out there to help you really optimize your fertility and understand where you are in your fertility journey. And lastly, something I'm super, super excited about, and wish I had this a long time ago as well, but a supplement guide. So understanding which supplements are actually useful, which ones to completely ignore, and there's a whole lot of hype around them, and they may not be as valuable as they're marketed out to be, but also which combinations to use and if supplements are right for you in your journey right now. Because like I mentioned earlier, it might be different at this stage in life compared to where you were a couple of years ago. So very, very cool resources for you to tap into and to save on your phone, on your computer, and have access to for your life. And then lastly, we also have a WhatsApp community. So this is an incredible community of like-minded people, lots of health enthusiasts who have joined us, and we are kind of having a conversation every day with friends and some people that we don't even know, but we feel like friends. And this is where we have our weekly challenges or monthly challenges. For example, this month we are doing some walkout push-ups or some planks, and it's nice to hold each other accountable and just see each other's progress. There's also a place where you can ask your questions. If you're feeling uncertain about something, you can always ask questions, and it's a completely safe space to do so. If you want to sign up and join that WhatsApp community, we're going to put the link in the chat and below. So check that out. And then lastly, we also are giving you free access to our digital hub app. So this is where you can find a whole lot of resources about health hacking and to really optimize your health hacking lifestyle from all aspects and all 6 pillars.
And just quickly jumping out of the presentation again, because we just want to connect with you like this a little bit deeper. And you're seeing like there's so much value that we put together here. So literally Kirsten's and my academic journey as well, like our years and years of studies and all the additional trainings that we've done, all the travels that we've done. Like we both of us have pretty much been all over the world talking to experts and learning more and attending workshops and just like furthering our knowledge and furthering our expertise. So you're getting all of that. You're getting access to that. You're getting a monthly personal connection call with your fellow health hackers. You're getting these customized workbooks for each and every module. You're getting the personalized audios for each and every module. You're getting all the guides, you're getting access to the WhatsApp community, access to the Health Hacking Hub app, and also with our background, because this is our baby, this is our passion project. But Kirsten and I, we have big businesses on the side as well. I've got my therapy business, and Kirsten has her supplement business that she works for. So you're getting all that knowledge, like you're getting personal supplement advice, you're getting tailored therapy and neuro tool advice. So whatever you will need, you can come to us, and you can even book one-on-one sessions with us, and then we'll go through your particular situation with you. But even just in the connection calls, like they always end up becoming very personal conversations, right?
Exactly.
Where we're just like helping on the spot and just like doing this journey together. So on the one hand, just connecting and checking in with each other, and like literally every one of our students by now is a friend. Like that's what it feels like. So it's very, very exciting to be a part of this. And all of that, as you can imagine, is like worth a whole lot. But we're actually launching this for only 299 euros. But here comes the big twist, because we promised you a surprise, because we have a special launch offer. So right now, until the end of April, all of this is actually only 99 euros. So this is a limited offer for all of you who are in here, for all of you amazing people who are already part of the WhatsApp community. It's just a thank you from our side, right? To say thank you to you for being so interested, for being so invested, and really just like wanting to be part of this lifestyle. So as we say, we want to make it easy and accessible. So this is our gift to you to make it accessible to you. We also have payment plans. So it's not a sum that has to happen in one go, but you can like stretch it out over 3 months. So very, very easy. And whatever you might need, just please reach out and you can just connect with us and we'll answer any questions. And talking about ease and accessibility, of course, we've got everything hosted on an online course platform. So it's very, very cool to work with. It's an easy overview, like whatever you download and you want to look into, it's in one big dashboard and super accessible and easy. You're getting lifetime access, as we already stressed. So if you are joining now, whatever we're doing with this in the future, and I can tell you, we're already working on advancements and just making it better and better. So that's what justifies the 299 euro value, because it is going to be at that price point at some point. But if you're getting into the game now, basically, you're securing all of those future advancements and just future optimizations and updates right now, because you've got the lifetime access and you're always going to have access to that. So that's something that's very important for us. You're just like, you're becoming part of the this world and you're in it. Like you're in it for life in the most positive and exciting and motivating way, hopefully. But that's not all, because the moment you become a part of this world and this health hacking family, basically, you're also gaining early access to our future programs, to any events that we are hosting, let it be digital events or even in-person events if we can make that happen. And you're also gaining early access to our deep dives. And a little spoiler here, we actually have our first deep dive coming up already, which is going to be centered around female health and female cycle syncing. So that's super exciting. So if all of this speaks to you, just head down to the description. You'll find the link there to become a part of Health Unlimited and our family today.
So if you're wondering how this differs to other courses out there, there's a few things that differentiate us. And the first one is that it's self-paced. So you can get a hold of this course and take it in your own time. We mentioned it's 8 weeks, but you can take 9 weeks, 10 weeks. You can take a whole year if you want to. It's totally up to you. So it's perfect for busy lives. If you are working on the side and you really want to pursue this course, there's no time limit and there's no restrictions. That everything is there for you whenever you want to watch it. And also, when it comes to the content of this course, it really is something unique. The combination of the bio side of things and the neuro side of things, there really isn't anything like it out there, and that covers these aspects in such a thorough and valuable way for you. So that is really one of the key points. And then also, just what we've heard from our previous students is the depth that we go into in each of the health pillars and how we tie those all together, but yet making it still accessible and doable for everyone, which is quite unique. And lastly, it's not just one-off course; it's something that you'll have for life, like we've already mentioned, and something that you will be a part of a community and a tribe going forward. And that's really, at the end of the day, what's going to help you move forward in your health journey.
So we've delivered a surprise to you, but we also promised you a gift. So let's actually head over there. So our gift to you is not only the amazing launch offer, but you're also getting an additional discount because you're here today with us having this conversation, and we're always appreciative of you taking time out of your day to learn about something new and really taking our time that you give to yourself, essentially. So please note down the code just here, which is for early bird. So put down BIRD10, BIRD 10. We're also going to put it into the description. And upon checkout, when you scan the QR code there, it'll take you to the checkout, and then you just enter the BIRD10 code and it'll give you an additional discount as a little token of appreciation from us.
Now, and the last little special bonus or gift that we're going to be offering you is something that we're personally both very excited about, and that's a free one-on-one personal coaching session with both of us. So you're going to have access to the expert in neurohacking and mindset and be able to dive deep into any sort of questions you have in your specific health journey with Lisa. And then with myself in the biology side of things, whether it's nutrition, exercise, sleep, whatever it is, you can ask all the questions and we'll give you our 100% attention to each one of you. And there'll be a whole lot of outcomes you can take away from that. That might be whatever you need, neurohacking audios, it might be supplements, it might be a meal plan, whatever it is, we will give you your unique health journey protocol.
And oftentimes on this health hacking journey, what it needs is simply just an outer perspective. So that's why we are so excited about this, because we truly live this every single day. And just having us to bounce your problems and your current life situation off with is going to be such a help already to gain more clarity, because we can look at it more objectively and we can give you the right triggers right away and the right next steps. And that's oftentimes such a big thing already to untangle what's been feeling so stuck for a long time. So it's super valuable to have that conversation. And there's a lot that can be done in 30 minutes already. So it's a super big benefit for everyone to actually have. So you're going to get that one if you're joining until end of April. This is a very special offer, which is also valued at a very high price. Like normally our clients have to pay quite some money for that to get one-on-one access to us. So you're going to get this as a special gift today.
So if this at all speaks to you and you are excited about taking the next steps in your health journey, you can scan the QR code or find the link in the description and join our Health Unlimited course. So if you're excited about this, I'm sure you have some friends, some family that might also be excited about taking the next steps in their health journey. So if you know anyone that might find value in this Health Unlimited course and all the bonuses and gifts that we're sharing today, then please share this webinar. You can just copy the URL and share it via WhatsApp or wherever to your friends and family.
So thank you so much for taking the time today to spend this time with us, to have this conversation with us. And I guess we're quite confident that even this conversation already today might have sparked something inside of you, right? Because even just like having this exchange gives you so many aha moments. And we just want to leave you with saying, this truly today hasn't just been a webinar title, making health smart and not hard, and bringing ease into your life and ditching all the quick fixes. This is truly, truly what we live every day. And this is truly our core of our being that we want to share with you. So we were so excited to actually just finally have a conversation like this, so you can also get to know us more personally and actually better. So with that being said, we're just really wanting to let you know this is our mission and we're in this with our hearts. And we're so excited to meet you and to work with you.
Thank you for joining us, and I can't wait to connect with you all. Hopefully you join us on our journey ahead. And yeah, thank you, Lisa, for this amazing webinar.
It's the first time actually that we're sitting next to each other doing one like this.
Amazing.
So very amazing. Bye guys. Hopefully see you very soon.